Hey guys, Krabs here. We're going to be finishing out the summer 1914 turn with the US. So, just some quick things. So this combat that I did with the French cruiser, Adrian corrected me. Cruiser raiders have the ability. Um, they cause any attacking unit to be at -3, obviously to a minimum of 1. Um, and it's only relegated to 1 round of combat because if they miss, then the cruiser raider gets to slip away um, after 1 round, which kind of makes those pretty unique. So they can just really skirt around and do some raiding around, like in the Atlantic and I mean anywhere else really. But kind of gives them a reason to have them, seeing as they're 1 attack, 1 defense. But they get that bonus for raiding, and so makes those pretty hard to find, which is pretty historically accurate because Germany really liked to send their cruisers out to the Atlantic in both wars, and they were pretty effective actually. So, because of the previously on the French turn, how I mentioned the U.S. got their income increase up to 6, so they got cash and carry. So the French and the Russians both took part in that this turn, so we'll be sending those. And then along with that, it does not take up my Lend-Lease capacity for each nation. So our buys this turn will spend all 6 and buy an infantry for ourselves and Lend-Lease the Russians in infantry along with their cash and carry arty. So that will be our purchase. Still no tech, still no diplomacy, and we will not be doing an income increase this turn because Britain is not at war yet. So I believe that's first page. Yes, beginning the turn when the British Empire and Central Powers are at war. So they're not at war yet, so we won't be rolling an income increase. Probably smart on the Central Powers turns to not do that because that's another turn that the U.S. isn't getting a roll, and another turn that the Brits aren't at war. So probably pretty smart. But we can, with our Monroe Doctrine, go ahead and we're going to grab an infantry, scoot a pre-dread down, along with an infantry, and drop this guy in Cuba. Just try and take a pot shot, see if we can't, what's it called? See if we can't get like 1 or 2 of those guys down. Okay. Let's grab us a dice. So our pre-dread will bombard at 3. That's a miss. Infantry, missed. And then he gets to fire back with all his stuff, which colonials and militia are at 2. Oh, that's tacking. Colonial militia at 2, infantry at 4. So we'll do his infantry first at 4. And then he's got 2 at 2. Double miss. My infantry at 1 because it's mountainous. Hey, there's a hit. I imagine he'll take the militia. He's got 2 at 2. Miss. Infantry at 4. Missed. My infantry at 1 again. Missed. Now he's got 1 at 4 and 1 at 2 for round 3. And that missed, but either way, he has to die because after 3 rounds he was not successful, but we took out a guy. So, whip-de-doo. Okay, now for non-coms. So, pre-dread is going to come down along with the coastal sub, and then these 3 guys are going to scoot in here, And by doing so, they're blockading that port, so Cuba no longer has supply, so they can't go like upgrading stuff and doing some funny shenanigans over there. Okay. We will also non-com this commander down to, no, we're actually going to send him over to San Francisco. And I believe that's all we're going to do for that. So we'll go ahead and place our stuff. So we get to place an infantry. We'll put him down in New Orleans. And then we get to, wrong spot, get to do all of our lend-lease. So seeing as this is already, it has to go to a major port, so we will go ahead and send this to, we'll actually send it through the Med. He'll skirt around the Germans and send it to southern France. And the Russians, I think we'll send both of these up to Kola. Yeah, we'll send them both up to Kola. So that's 3 infantry up there now and 2 artillery. So good Russian force up in the north. And to finish out the US, we will collect our 6. And go ahead and hop over to China. So now we're going to get to start pulling some China cards. So first, we've got Yunnan conduct a mandatory offensive from 1 territory into 1 adjacent territory for 1 round. And Fengtian add 1 infantry to any territory, which we have to resolve before I do anything else. I'm pretty sure that that's how that works. Oh, sorry, 3 random events. Yes, so 3 random events. So Yunnan mandatory offensive, Fengtian gets an infantry, and Shaanxi also have to do a mandatory offensive. And both of them are going to have to be attacking me, which I imagine that he's going to go boom, boom into the same territory to have the best chance of knocking that out. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. We will continue on. So I'm going to go ahead and send this in the Discord. Pretty sure Yunnan, no, they do border 2 territories, and so does the Shaanxi warlord. So we'll go ahead and send that and get those going. We'll grab a Fengtian infantry over here. Okay. Okay, so while we're waiting on that, I imagine it'll be a bit. I imagine I can go. Oh, yeah, okay. So while we're waiting on that, we can go ahead and yeah, okay. So we can go ahead and resolve our random events while we're waiting on that. We'll do all the stuff in China before we get around to doing Germany. Just gotta wait on Sir Adrian to get back to me, but he's probably asleep because he's halfway around the world. So, okay, so um, just waiting on B Nasty. He's typing real quick. Okay. For our random events, we'll go ahead and do the West. And we got 6. So learn gun running, place 1 free attacking neutral infantry in Ireland, and resolve combat immediately. If the attacker succeeds, Ireland becomes a strict neutral. Germans ship 25,000 rifles with ammo to Ireland, fueling conflict between British and separatists. And my dog is trying to shove herself under my desk right now. Dog, what are you doing? Stop. Okay, so 1 free attacking neutral infantry in Ireland. And we will resolve that now. So, neutral infantry versus the British infantry. And Okay, so the neutral infantry missed on the first round, and the British infantry got a hit back on defense first round, so perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and roll for the east. And we got, ooh, another 6. Okay, U.S. isolationism. Reduce U.S. peacetime income by 3. The assassination of Crown Prince Wilhelm by Russian, Polish assassins and British atrocities against Boers caused national U.S. sentiment to lean against the Allies. Fantastic. Oh, right back to where we started. Why is this game just absolutely bullying me in particular with all these decreases to my production? So, and that goes ahead and puts us down to not having any cash and carry next turn. So fantastic. So while we're waiting on Adrian to get back about China, that will finish out the U.S. Turn plus the random events. So it'll be Germany next turn, but before that, we'll resolve anything in China.